my camera cut out and I had done 20 minutes of filming and it erased it. So now I've got to do all these questions over again. Okay, I'm going to start from the top, and it's going to be fun. So, I just got a question 3 days ago saying, have you posted your video for upcoming freshmen yet? If so, could you link me to it? I will now. Okay, so the last question that I got that is pertaining to the high school Q&A is from Brendan's Boutte. And they say, is having a boyfriend a big part of high school? Because I'm afraid I won't fit in if it is. No, it's not. It's not a big part unless your friends are trying to make it a big part. And if your friends are trying to make it a big part, tell them no. Be like, I'm not doing that. I am speaking as somebody who, in freshman year, dated 2 boys for a total, combining them, of less than 2 weeks. And then I decided I was a lesbian, which I'm not a lesbian. I'm not even really a girl. No, having a boyfriend is not a big part of high school. Don't worry. It'll be okay. Alright, the next question is from Ratulicious. Ratulous. I don't frickin' know. Regardless, they say, how would you deal with teachers who don't exactly teach? Like, they base their teaching entirely off the textbook, and it's all take notes and study for the next test. I can't learn at all with a teacher like that. How would someone survive in that situation? That one's kind of hard, because most of my teachers were not like that, really. However, I can relate this to AP classes, because I had a couple of AP classes, and one of them was basically 99%, well, not even 99%, it was like 84% textbook. And that was just because we were supposed to outline every single chapter of the textbook. And I would suggest, try to find online courses. Like, if you find a teacher for, let's say, your science course that's like, read your textbook, find some sort of, like, YouTube video that kind of teaches you that subject. Because most likely you will find something like that, like Crash Course, which I know a lot of teachers nowadays use, and I really wish that Crash Course had been something that it is now when I was in school so that I could see things like that. But most of my teachers weren't like that. But I still used the internet a lot to try to figure out more about a certain subject if I needed help with it. And something like Crash Course, or I'm not even sure any other things, but you can probably find a lot of different things, resources online that will help you with things like that, like a video, diagrams, whatever helps you most. Try to find it on the internet. The internet's endless. You'll find something. I promise. Okay, this is a very commonly asked question. This one's specifically from an Anon, but it's how to make friends, which technically isn't a question. Technically, it's like a title to a how-to book, but I will let you know. And that is, if you see somebody that you think you have something in common with, talk to them. I made a lot of friends by saying, I like your shirt, I like your hair, I like your piercing in your ear face, and, or other. I like X about you, I like Y about you. Hey, you're talking about that? Sorry I was overhearing that, but same. Maybe not worded like that, but I would say just talk to people. I mean, it's not as hard as you think to talk to somebody. I mean, it's hard, trust me, but it's not that hard. You can just kind of say, hey, I like that, and then you'll have a whole discussion about whatever that thing was. Like, if somebody has a tattoo, be like, I like your tattoo. I want a tattoo. How much did it hurt? XXY. What does that tattoo mean? Does it mean anything? If it doesn't, that's cool. I mean, it's pretty. You can have a conversation about anything. I made friends with somebody because they were wearing a Green Day shirt every single day of 9th grade. I also wore a Green Day jacket every single day of 9th grade. It was cool. We had fun, and I didn't even really make friends with them until the next year. But we went to prom together. Not together, like, together, but we went to prom, and they were there. And, like, we hung out with our group of friends. It was fun, but just talk to people. In your class, in your whatever. If you hear somebody talking, hear somebody has a thing, I don't know. talk to people in your classes. It'll be fun. Or in the hallway, or at lunch, anywhere. You'll make friends. It's not as hard as making friends anywhere else. Okay, so I've got I almost put up two questions from Official Parmesan. First one is, what is the difference between AP and IB? This may be unanswerable. I don't know if your school does this, but my school has AP or IB classes, and I don't know the difference. Thank you. And their second one is, do you have relaxation tips for when I get super #stressed out? Thank you. First question, AP, and I had to look this up because I never did IB courses. I had heard of them, but I don't think my school particularly offered them. I think that they had, like, calculus IB, and I didn't take calculus, but we had something similar. AP is a high school class that is just, like, one level above GT, so it's like somewhere between high school and college courses. And then IB is a college course. It is something that you can use for a bachelorette's degree. And AP is just kind of a general college credit if you pass the AP exam. However, the IB course, I believe that it also has like a specific exam, but it could basically be used for a degree as opposed to just a general college course. And personally, I would suggest AP over IB just because you don't always know what you want to do with your life, and it's a whole lot easier. It takes a whole lot less stress off of you knowing that, oh yeah, you can get like an AP English course. You know that you'll have to take an English class anyway, kind of thing. And then, do you have any relaxation tips for whenever I get super stressed out? I had a lot of people saying, like, how should I relax? What if I get too stressed? Just take a deep breath. Sit away from your homework or schoolwork or whatever and take a deep breath. If you are in the middle of class and there's a really hard test, ask if you can go to the bathroom, walk outside. Don't go to the bathroom necessarily unless you take solace in sitting down on a toilet. I don't know, or actually need to pee. Go pee. But just take one walk up the hallway, one walk down, or even just sit outside of your classroom, take a deep breath, and think about something that you like. If you want to use Tumblr, go to the bathroom and use Tumblr. I mean, anything that will kind of make you feel better for a few minutes and just kind of take your mind off of that will be good. And then just kind of go back in, take another deep breath, and start again. It's always hard when you're just like really stressed out because you feel like you should like work even harder faster. And don't do that. Just kind of, if you're feeling super stressed out and you have like a time constraint, you can't leave, something like that, just work slower and kind of think through everything a little slower because it does calm you down a whole lot if you're not like rushing through everything. Okay. So the next question is from Anon. This is, any advice for freshmen going into AP classes? As a freshman, I wasn't going into AP classes. However, I have advice for going into AP classes in general, and maybe even for freshmen this could apply. So the only AP courses I took were during senior year. I took two of them. I took AP Spanish, and I took AP Psychology. And I liked both of them a lot. I did. Any advice for that is, your teacher might make you outline. If you do it whatever way helps you best. If you want to use colored pens or pencils, do it. If you want to draw, kind of create diagrams, do it. It's definitely going to help. Also, most textbooks have kind of like here's what you should learn at the beginning of the chapter, and just kind of create questions based off that. Questions that you can probably answer at the end. Read through it, answer the questions. If you could answer them, you learned everything you could, kind of thing. Just kind of keep everything organized and try to get through it as best as possible. Definitely 100% read the textbook. I don't care that you don't want to read it. Do it. It will be good for you. You'll ace it. It will make you a whole lot less stressed out if you don't have to worry about acing like everything at the very end of the year. Yeah. Also, number 2, what do I bring on the first day of school? Super important question. Definitely really important. Take one notebook, preferably one subject. Take a planner, unless you know that your high school provides them. I know that a lot of them do. Take 2 pens, 2 pencils. That is probably all that you'll need. Maybe take a pack of colored pencils or something, because I know that a lot of people have those, like, beginning of the year, learn about yourself things. Something like that. And I would suggest taking just that. Do not beforehand buy, like, what it says on the website. Don't buy what you used to buy for all your classes. Just wait, because on the first day, your teacher will, in fact, tell you what you need for the year. Write it down in your planner or your notebook for every single class, and get it over the weekend, the first weekend. Because oftentimes they will give you, like, a week to do it. Or if you don't feel like you have a week, do it after the first day. Doesn't matter, or after the second day. So you don't have to make, like, several trips. Nobody's gonna really freak out at you if you just have one thing. And if you know that you'll need a lot of binders, take that notebook and just kind of, for every class, rip out a different piece of paper, so that then you can kind of organize that with everything else. I'm gonna cough. It's gonna be fun. Don't bring a whole lot. Really don't. Because if you try to bring everything you think you'll need, you're going to need something else, and then you're just going to end up with a big cluttered mess. Okay, number 3. Do teachers let students eat in class? I'm only going to have lunch every other day, so I need to know if I have to eat big breakfasts. I have a question for you, Anon. Why do you only eat every other day? Is that like your school only has lunch every other day? Because I'm pretty sure that's illegal. I'm 99% sure that's illegal. Is it like something with your schedule? I'm, like, confused here. I would suggest talking to your teachers, because it does depend on the teacher. None of my teachers really let anybody in my classes eat. But if you'd, like, tell a teacher, hey, I'm not gonna be able to eat lunch today, can I, like, eat a snack? Try to bring, like, a couple snacks, eat between classes if you can. I'm not sure what your school permits. I would have to suggest that you kind of have to ask the school about that, but that's a crazy one. I'd say eat snacks in between, and then, like, when you get home, eat a snack kind of thing, if you can. The next question that I got is one that I have already answered, and it was, how do you stay on top of AP classes as a freshman? I didn't do it as a freshman, I did it as a senior, but I would say very similar ways. Figure out what works for you as far as note-taking, and do that. If you need to take notes in every color in the rainbow, do it, because it will help you in the end. Most AP teachers are going to be like, yeah, that's going to help you, do it. Make a lot of note sheets for, like, tests and everything. Just, like, treat it as, like, a just above grade level course, because otherwise you'll get way too stressed out about it. The next thing that I got was a piece of advice that Tumblr user Homo Lizard wanted to give to all these freshman babies. And it's basically about, like, trying to figure out directions and how to get to all of your classes. And then I'll add something onto that because I have an idea. When I went to a new school, I wrote down directions / things to help me remember where my classes were on my schedule so I didn't get lost. As an example, there was a rainbow poster on top of the door for my math class, and that's how I found it for about a week until I knew where everything was. Just a tip for anybody that's worried about getting lost. One of the older kids told me that they did that on their first day and it helped them a lot. Maybe it will help someone else. Smiley face. I agree. That is 100% true. do anything like that, anything that you feel like would help you, especially with directions, because it is hard to get lost. However, if you're afraid about getting late, usually for new students or freshmen, teachers will give you kind of a grace period, like 5 minutes before or after, well, before the class, to kind of get there. So if you show up like 2 minutes late because you figured you couldn't find the room, it's okay, trust me. Your teacher will probably be like, yeah, that's fine, don't worry. They'll be like, sorry, I'm new. It's my first day. I didn't really know where to go. They'll be fine with it, and then just kind of write where you think it is. Or if you have a map of a school, just highlight where all of your classes are, because usually you can get a map of the school if your teachers don't provide it for you. Trust me, it's not as hard. You'll learn very quickly because you'll be going there every single day. Okay, the next question that I have is from an Anon, and they say, I have no idea what I want to do with my life, or what classes I want to take, or who to sit with at lunch. I'm just a shy, small, 5 foot, and very stressed child. Calm down, because right now, you're freaking out. That was in all caps. Well, that was 6 days ago, but it's in all caps. Just take a deep breath, and it'll be okay. Okay. I'm going to address this first to last. First thing, I have no idea what I want to do with my life. You're an incoming freshman. Most likely. That means that you're probably 14 or 15. You don't need to know what you want to do with your life. You really, really don't. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life when I was 14. I still don't really know what I want to do with my life. I mean, I kind of do. I'm going to go to cosmetology school at some point when I can, but right now I'm working. I mean, it doesn't matter when you do that. Just kind of figure out what your interests are. You're still growing and figuring out who you are in your life, and you will eventually figure out what you want to do with your life, and it will be okay when you don't know. My friend just figured out what she wanted to do with her life this year, and she is 19 turning 20. And she was undecided in college. Like, you can go to university and choose an undecided major and kind of take some classes to figure out exactly what you want to do with your life. Research any degrees that you can get in, like, colleges around your area. Stuff like that. But don't worry about it right now. You're a 14-year-old, 15-year-old. You still have 3 or 4 years. And I know that that's a lot closer than you think. Like, than you're used to. You think that suddenly because you're in high school, you need to immediately figure out what you want to do with your life. And it's this doom approaching. But trust me, freshman year is going to go by slowly. It really is. And then sophomore year is going to go by a little faster, but not super fast. And then junior years, it just is going to get a little faster. But it's going to be okay. And I promise it's going to be okay. You just need to let you find that out for yourself. And don't let anybody pressure you. What classes you want to take? You don't know which classes you want to take? Take whatever you want. It is free-ish. Like, if you're going to public school, it is free for you. You do not have to pay for it. Take what interests you, and that will probably help you figure out what you want to do with your life. If you're interested in theater, take theater. If you like math, take calculus. You are interested in English, take literature, history, take whatever historians take. Just take as much as you can and as much as you want, because I really regret not taking things. Because I took guitar in freshman year, and I hated it. The teacher sucked. She couldn't play guitar. She couldn't even stand up, let alone play guitar. And she said on a daily basis, I can't play guitar, but you better be able to do this in one class and then play for me at the very end. I failed that class, even though I had taken guitar lessons for like 2 or 3 years prior. And I could play everything. I still failed the class because she sucked. And I only did that because one of my best friends from middle school was like, hey, take this class with me. We stopped talking that year. Do not take what your friend wants you to take. Take what you want to take. If you want to take guitar, take it. If you want to take dance, take it. If you want to take astronomy, I don't know if your school even offers that, take it, though. Take as much as you want. And as much as you feel like you'd be able to handle. And take a foreign language. Take health, take PE, take everything that you need to take, and then take more. Take things that you want. because it's free, and it's not going to be free forever, and you're really going to regret not taking that theater class when you're a freshman in college and have to pay for it. Take what you want. And, you know, you might be able to figure out what you want to do by just taking classes. Next, who to sit with at lunch? I got this question a lot. I really did. Talk to people during your classes. If you have friends, figure out if you have friends that are going to the same school as you. Figure out what lunches they have. Do you guys have a lunch together? Sit together. You'll make new friends. You'll have old friends. You can sit with a lot of people. There are a lot of people at lunch. Sit with them. It will be fun. And just kind of talk to people in your classes, because you can always sit next to them. They probably don't know who they want to sit with either. Nobody really knows who they want to sit with. I was super worried about that too in freshman year. But my second day, in my health class, which was my fourth period class, and fourth period determined what lunch you had, I talked to a girl who had a My Chemical Romance backpack, and we hung out, and it was cool. And she's still kind of one of my friends. I don't really talk to her anymore, but I don't really talk to many people anymore. I'm sure that if I talked to her again, we would have a lot of fun. But do it, it'll be awesome. And just kind of talk to people. You'll find somebody to sit with. I promise. I'm just a shy, small, 5 foot, and very stressed child. I'm sorry that you're 5 feet tall. And I'm saying that as a somebody who's 5'10". It's okay. Don't worry. And as far as the stress, just take a deep breath and sit back. You'll enjoy it a whole lot more if you're taking things slowly and enjoying it. Kind of like playing it out to enjoy it. Next question. I don't know if this is for this, but I'm gonna answer it, I guess. How much porn does a regular teenager watch? Don't ask me. I've watched less than 2 hours, 1 hour of porn in my entire life. I've watched probably like 3 porn videos. How that works, I don't frickin' know. I'm a tiny baby and I haven't done anything, so I'm not gonna ask. I don't care that I'm 20. Next question that I can't actually answer. Do people actually offer you drugs in high school? No. Maybe. If people do, they don't care if you actually say no. Because I was offered pot one time in my entire high school time. I said, no, it smells gross. Because it does. And they were like, okay. They left me alone. And nobody really cares. Don't pretend like you smoke pot or cigarettes or do coke. I don't know. Don't pretend like you do drugs if you don't. Nobody cares. And nobody cares if you do it or not. Like, I didn't ever do drugs, really. I drank alcohol probably a total of 3 times in my entire life. And I smoked half of a cigarette, and for most of that I was just pretending. Which, that was really stupid. Cigarettes are so expensive, I can't afford that. And I've got a job, a full-time job, and I can't afford cigarettes. Don't smoke cigarettes. That's my rule for freshmen. Don't smoke cigarettes. It's expensive and causes cancer. Have you seen those commercials that they've started playing on TV where they've got that chick who doesn't have, she's got a giant hole in her neck and has to speak out of that? Like, don't, I've got off track here. No, people don't actually offer you drugs, really. And there's no peer pressure at all, because if they do offer you drugs, they don't care if you say no. They're like, oh yeah, more for me. Next question is from an Anon. It says, hey bud, so what I'm curious about in high school is, do you have any tips on studying math and English? Because in junior high, I was great at it. I was great at it in history/science, but so bad at tests in math and English. So I was wondering if you had any tips. Thanks, I love you. I love you too, Anon. I don't have any tips on studying math and English specifically. Got tips on studying, but not for math and English. That I am not the person to ask about math and English, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm good at math. I'm sorry, Tumblr, I have failed you, because everybody's talking about how they're terrible at math. I've always been that kid in math class where everybody's like, please help me, I'm drowning. And I'm like, It's this. And then they're like, why does that make so much sense now? Give me your math. Let's Skype. We can Skype, Anon, and I can help you with your math homework. Probably, if I remember it, which I might. But, like I said, for just basically studying for AP courses, would be the same as studying for any subject at all, really, is get colored pens, or pencils, or highlighters, and little sticky notes, because you can use it, and just make flashcards and cheat sheets for tests. Don't cheat. I'm saying kind of like to study. Just anything that you think could help you, use that. Flashcards for math, just kind of like, this is the equation. Now, what is that used for? Something like that. And it will be easier. And pay a whole lot of attention. Don't just kind of skimp out on that. Sit in the very front row if you can, and try to get as much information, soak it in. Because that's kind of what I did in history and science, and I didn't die. And I am very sorry for you, because if you have to take chemistry, you're not gonna like that. That's math. It's not science, it's math. Well, it is science, but it's math. That's just my heartbreaking moment for anybody who's good at science but not good at math. Science has a lot of math. And that's actually good. If you're really good at science and not very good at math, there's chemistry. And if science kind of piques your interest a little more, take your math and try to make it into a science concept, and then maybe you can get it a little easier, something like that. Just kind of take what you are good at and try to use that to help you in the things that you're not good at, like word problems. Like, you could use a word problem that has something to do with science or history. Maybe. I don't know if this is going to be helpful at all. Please don't take my advice to heart. In English, just, annotate books if you can. If you're not allowed to physically annotate them, sticky notes are your new best friend. And just kind of use that. Just, it's hard. English is hard sometimes. But trust me, you can do it. I believe in you. Mwah. If you need help, though, I would really be able to Skype with you and help you with your math homework. I made the slope of Brendan's forehead for somebody once to help them with their math. You can find that in my /tag/ask if you want. That's somewhere. Okay, next and on, which I believe this is the last question, which is, I'm going from a private school with 50 kids per class to a public school with way many more people per class, and I'm freaking about having to make friends. I have slight anxiety, too, so this whole situation is making me extremely anxious. I can't speak. I'm very sorry, amigos. That's not the last question. I lied to you. However, that is similar to another question that I have, which is, okay, so I could use some advice right now. I've been homeschooled all of my life, and next year I'm starting high school, probably as a sophomore, because I'm taking mostly freshman classes right now. Any advice for dealing with new people? What should I expect? So the first one with the private school person is a non, and this person is, leave Arizona for Siberia. Okay, so both of you guys kind of have similar situations. One of you went to a private school with a whole lot less people per class to a lot of people per class, and then somebody is homeschooled. Okay, so basically you guys both want to know about, public school and how to make friends. Okay. Making friends is very simple. Talk to people who are in your classes. Talk to people who are in your electives, especially because then you've got something in common, which is you both chose this class, probably. Talk to people who have cool hair, who've got cool shirts, who have some buttons on their backpack, who have a cool backpack. Talk to somebody whose locker is next to you, somebody in your homeroom. Just talk to someone. Because I know that it's hard, and it is anxiety-provoking, but most likely you got something in common with that person with pink hair. Or you have something in common with the person wearing the Fall Out Boy shirt, and you really like that Fall Out Boy shirt. In fact, you are wearing the same Fall Out Boy shirt that day. I'm kidding. But just kind of, like, talk to somebody you think you could have something in common with. Oh, we're taking this class together. We'll probably have to deal with each other all year. How's it going? Are you scared about this class? I suck at this class. Please help. Yeah, talk to people. It's a lot of fun, and it's super easy once you get started. Nobody's gonna make fun of you for trying. Okay. So I've got 2 more questions. Oh wait, 1 more questions. And actually, a little piece of advice from an Anon, which kind of can help leave Arizona for Siberia and that Anon that I just was talking to. Which is, don't have expectations of what it's going to be like, because then you either get your hopes up or are really bummed. Yes, 100%. Don't be like, it's going to be this awesome, we're going to be High School Musical, because it's not going to be High School Musical. I probably just broke your heart. Yeah, there's no singing. I'm sorry. No, but just don't have expectations of what it's going to be like. No matter who you are, if you've been in public school your entire life, you still will have your expectations shattered. I went to public school my entire life, and I was not prepared for high school. It was not at all what I thought it was going to be. It was a lot better and a lot worse than I thought it was going to be, and honestly, it definitely was not as bad. I had a lot of doubts in the beginning. Alright, last question is from Tumblr user Listening. Hi, I'm an incoming freshman, and school is starting for me on August 24th. I'm going to a different school than my girlfriend is, and it may be a bit hard to see her. I'm good at keeping internet contact, and there will be dates. But I'm in need of physical attention most of the time. Any advice? Hang out all the time, every weekend. Every single weekend. Every single weekend. Even if you guys can't just do it somehow. No, I'm kidding, no. Yeah, definitely. Just go hang out with each other every time that you can. Like, if your parents are not busy, be like, yo, I'm gonna do this. We should do this, please. Yeah. But, just kind of try to get to her as soon as possible. And as many times as you can, maybe even during the week if you can. I know that this is kind of similar, but kind of different, because I didn't really talk to people in different high schools that much. But I had a girlfriend in high school, and basically during the school year we would see each other every single day, and we would also talk every single day. We still talked every single day during the summer, but suddenly during the summer we didn't see each other every day. It just didn't happen. We did not see each other every single day. And we couldn't. I mean, we started walking to each other's houses, but that was only in, like, the almost second year of us dating. But that doesn't matter. Just try to see them as much as possible, and it will be okay. I pinky promise. Pinky promise. That was probably gross. Okay, so that was the last question. If anybody has any more questions, I probably won't be doing another Q&A. However, you can go ahead and ask me. My inbox is always open. I'm going to leave you with a few parting thoughts, but most of it I got out in these questions, which is, number 1, don't smoke cigarettes. Okay, now being actually absolutely serious. Enjoy yourself and don't worry too much. It isn't as hard as you're thinking it is right now. It sounds terrifying, but trust me, it's going to become just like middle school was and just like elementary school was. Kind of boring and definitely school, but it's definitely not as hard as you're going to think it is, and at the same time, it is as hard as you think it is. It depends on what you're thinking and how you're going into it. If you're going into it with an open mind and not very many expectations, you're going to have a good time, trust me, and take as many classes as you can and as much as you want to. Just kind of, if you have the option to take a class that really interests you, like if you love music, take music. Take guitar, take piano, take a foreign language. Just take dance, take anything, because you don't know if you'll like it until you try it, and it's free right now. You don't know how hard it's going to be to try out something that you've always wanted to try out in the future, because then you don't have to pay for it, and it will be expensive. Like, take that theater class, because you'll regret it when you're a freshman in college and you're paying for that theater class. But try, and you will succeed. I promise. It will be fun. It will be terrible. You can always talk to me about it. I'm right here. Like I said, can help you with math. Probably. Have a good one, and I hope you guys have a fantastic time in high school. Let me know how it goes. Mwah.